And so England and the world learnt of the new weapon created by the Nazis. But it did not come as a surprise to the British authorities. As long ago as May 1943, a whispering from occupied Europe had kept our intelligence in touch with the German experiments. Our attention was directed to a small island on the Baltic coast, and finally focused on the northern tip. There was Peenemünde. This was the experimental base where the flying bomb was born. Information received later, in August 43, together with pictorial evidence secured by photographic reconnaissance, led us to believe that high-ranking officers and leading scientists of the German Reich would be assembled at this base to preview the final experiments. On the night of 17th, 18th August, Bomber Command was given a special job. The job of wiping Peenemünde off the map. The mission was successful. Many high-ranking officials were killed. The experimental station destroyed. This was a tremendous blow, aimed straight at the heart of the Nazis' last hope. But it was too late to turn back, and they had to proceed with their plan. Later in 43, further information and reconnaissance showed that the Germans were frantically building launching ramps all along the coast of France. All pointed towards London. Although our air forces were concentrating on the softening up of Fortress Europe for the Allied invasion, our tremendous reserves enabled us to strike at these launching sites without sacrificing our efforts on the air invasion plan. In all, 100 sites were found and destroyed, so crippling them that the Nazis had to abandon them and build inferior mobile units. On June the 13th, 7 days after D-Day, the first flying bombs were launched on England. Our defense plan, long prepared, was immediately put into action. This was divided into 3 main belts. South of London, an enormous balloon barrage. On the coast, ack-ack guns. And sweeping the channel on constant patrol, fighter aircraft. Within a few hours, the enormous steel curtain was being erected. Rapidly, the sky became filled. The largest concentration of balloons ever to be flown was operational and had claimed the first of many victims. Although the balloon defense was only concerned with bombs that escaped our fighters and ack-ack gunners, their score was high for a static defense system. All along the coast, gunners of the RAF regiment stood by to pick off any stray low-flying bombs. But our main line of defense was attacked. The Tempest, the latest and fastest fighter of air defense of Great Britain, was brought into action. Between sorties, while the fighters were being refueled and rearmed, the pilots got together to discuss the best methods of attack, for the robot presented a new problem in aerial tactics. The Tempest was on constant patrol over an area extending almost to the coast of France. Over 500 sorties a day were carried out during the peak period, and during this time over 1,000 flying bombs fell to the fighters alone, a figure which meant 30% of all bombs launched. Plotted along the coast, the Royal Observer Corps had already established hundreds of posts. Their function was to spot any bombs that had escaped our fighters. They acted rather like a gigantic spider's web. Any stray body that came within their orbit was immediately seized upon, and its course, height and speed plotted, and passed on to the main control center, who advised the gun crews in the threatened area.
Diver 214, 33, direction northwest. Diver 214, 24.
Diver Mike 42, direction northwest.
Diver Mike 33, direction northwest.
Diver Mike 15, direction northwest. Diver left!
Night and day, the defense of Britain went on, always at the ready to strike and kill. The Nazi secret weapon was rapidly becoming a failure. The Nazis had intended to flood England with thousands upon thousands of flying bombs. This plan was crippled by our air forces, and of the 8,000 which were launched during the first 80 days, 71% failed to reach their target. This then was our defense system, but Bomber Command was not satisfied, and they continued to play their vital role. Air Chief Marshal Sir Arthur Harris allocated hundreds of his heavies to continue the battering of the launching sites, bomb dumps, and storage depots. All this without, for one moment, or by one single aircraft, reducing our air offensive against the Nazi war potential.